Okay, I'm trying this one last time. Is it working? Last time. Then I'm done. I assume no, then. No? Oh, you hear me? Oh, good. Jeez, Pete's, man. How you doing, Tanger? Ugh. New frickin' phone. I drove over my phone. Must have fell out of my pocket and I didn't even know. Whatever. Is what it is. Is what it is. Is what it is. How you doing? Hi. Oh, you're heading out to the airport? I'll probably never go on another vacation again in my life. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Niall. Probably never. I don't know what I did. Isn't it like weird that how would these people? This is their mission in life. Their mission in life is to be what makes people. Yeah, I did have to buy a new phone. Is to be what makes people not give a shit anymore. Isn't that fucked? To strive to be what makes people be sorrowful, full of sorrow, to double people's sorrow. Isn't that fucking weird? Who would want to do that? Who would like strive to be the reminder of people's sorrow? Like to have to keep bringing up their, deceased relatives or high ministry or calling them a scammer or calling them a perpetual victim when you've never been a fucking victim your whole life. You're not a fucking victim. Why would anybody strive to be that? Someone else's misery. Like, one of Sharon's goals was to create small, tiny pieces of garbage and spread it out all around me and pretend that's what I do. Yeah, Tanger. I don't know if you missed it though tonight. Traveler girl Angie's live stream about my dead sister. It was great. Woman's been dead since 1984. And then, we find out that somebody's been snooping around my other sister's names and shit because they slipped up. Why? Why? What did my deceased sisters or my live sisters do to those people? Or my daughter's boyfriend? Or my deceased mother? That's what they strive to be. Not just Sharon. That's what they strive to be. Is somebody else's misery. Who would strive to be that? Like when Tiffany said, Tom didn't pay me to harass Ollie. I would have done it for free. Really? Those are some career goals. Those are some real career goals. I mean, Mr. Rourke, to pretend to be the friend of people here and then go around now and be one of the biggest fucking dicks that anybody's seen. But she was all right tonight. She didn't do anything really. In fact, I think she was the only one who mentioned that that was my deceased relative and said that that's wrong to do, doxing somebody's deceased relative. And then Tiffany went on to expose herself for knowing my other family's names, relatives. Kind of pretty sick, I didn't do anything to you, Tiffany. They do make you sick, don't they? But from what I heard, at least Bobbles was the only one tonight to say no. That's, in her live stream, though, she did say, Munchie is an SG hater. She's a troll of SGs. We don't mind that person. That's pretty fucked up. That's fucked up. I'll tell you, Tiffany makes me sicker than Bobbles does. Yeah, and then Nut Nut came right in. Yeah, it's probably that Jeff Spieling or Joe. Could be Joe. Like, let's not forget, I mean, I think they all kind of talk. Look at the whole time that Jules has been saying, well, um, well, Ollie and Tiffany weren't friends, and then she so-called found out I was friends with both of them, which I wasn't. But what really kills me is like the day after. The day after. They were all in a live stream together. Tiffany, Ollie, and Jules, Jeff Smealing, all in a live stream together. I know, but it's a person who's, going after people. They're the same person who was Janice Dickinson. But I do think it's Mr. Rourke is part of it. You know that? Munchie and Nutnut, they could even be fucking Tom Reed. I think they fucking interchange, you know? They don't give a shit. But that side over there are suicide trolls with suicides under their belt. And I'm not talking about Bobbles. I'm not talking about Luna. I'm not even talking about Travel Girl Lou or Sharon. I'm talking about the people who are searching for people's family members and stuff. The people who are they're out, like framing me, basically. They're framing me to isolate me. Just feeling could be anybody. They got voice changers, Just feeling could have even been the the V person, but I don't think so anymore. I kind of think it might be either Joe or Tom Reed because they seem to get off on that kind of shit. Could even be Mr. Bobbles. Munchy. Could be anybody. We don't know everybody from that other community there that, I know she was. No. No way. JC Bear wouldn't do that shit. Nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. JC Bear wouldn't do that. I just wonder if, perhaps maybe Jules and Joe were already like stirring some shit before, or, I mean, where would they have just disappeared to? Doesn't that seem odd? Like they disappear, Angie Reacts disappeared. Mary just about like removed her channel. Miss Passion was getting harassed so much. I think these people are getting harassed so much because they're small channels that are spun off from Chosen One. Even though I had my channel before before I was on Chosen Ones, but he's so fucking insecure that he doesn't want anyone. Yeah, yeah, Tom Reed. Not Tiffany, because Tiffany takes down her channel all the time. But So it's not about being like Sharon Chase who all the way. What do you mean, Sharon? No. Chase who all the way. I think it's Tom and Tiffany are behind a lot of shit. I think there's some kind of a fucking like a Sharon's getting blamed for what? She does a lot of shit. She's an asshole. She wants to be so fucking relevant, man, and she just doesn't get it. That her stupidity doesn't even scratch the surface. Doesn't I get blamed for it all? I do. On purpose, though. It's to fucking isolate. Bottom line is, here you get this fucking YouTuber who has over almost 200,000 subs. I don't know how many Tom has now, okay? And literally asks his subscribers to send shots in a bikini, right? He admitted that. Who sat outside of Debbie's house. He admitted that. Records the people he talks to on the phone, women. No, Sharon ain't. Sharon scratches the fucking surface. She thinks she's some queen of mean, and she doesn't actually have that. I don't know. Does she want to have that in her? I wouldn't think that she would want to. Saying to me that cancer was my karma, that's pretty fucked up. But I hate to think of her karma, but I think she's already gotten it. But I don't believe in karma anyway. I've seen plenty of rotten people get breaks that they didn't deserve. But I do believe that there's some kind of a rivalry between this Laura and Tiffany, and yet sometimes they're friends, I've seen. So I don't really get it. The whole group kind of baffles me, but I want no part of it. But Tom Reed is so fucking insecure that any little channel, even that fucking he thinks he helped, even though they were just trying to fucking do their own channel anyway on their own shit, his deception. Who fucking does that? Fucking call somebody a fucking. Who goes, cancer? Like, who says that? Except a fucking idiot. Oh, really? I didn't see that. Did she say that herself? If she said that herself, then she knows that that's not true. Nobody gave her that kind of credit. And we all know clearly who Jules was saying. Oh, she didn't say it herself? Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't get the Oh, okay. Did she say somebody said it herself? She likes to think she's more than she is. Oh, because I didn't see anything like that. I did see that guy that Bobbles was talking about on her live stream tonight in his video pertaining to me. Like what's wrong with that fucking guy? Is he gonna be okay? He doesn't even like know any of us, you know? Thank you, Tanger. Good night, Ministry. I just don't. I just find it weird that Jules would just disappear. You know. And like Debbie said, every time she gets some email, it's supposed to be from, Jules, but it's just so weird that, you know, could even be Munchie as Jules. Who knows? Is Debbie still here? I just texted her. I might have screwed up my own sound again. Who knows? Did I? Can you guys still hear me or not? Who knows? I don't know if this is working. Might not be. Once again, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do the hotspot too. I noticed that the person, that on Sharon's had given her the super chats, they're already like jumping all over that person. Sharon, getting angry at them for some reason. I don't know why. Um, Seems weird to me that, like, how is that possible that she doesn't feel the human nature to, you know, talk to the person like, thank you, Tanger, to, be like a decent person and just talk to them instead of letting that hug million sit there saying a bunch of crap to them and just be gracious. She was like, oh, well, Super Chat takes 35%, just so you know. Cash App is the way to go, and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I believe that the person, their point was to show that you have support in your, in your channel or something. And I think it was like, they were trying to do that in a public way to show that you have support publicly. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's just my thought. I mean, that guy gave you like what, 80, $100? I mean, I agree that is a little ridiculous to, have, them take 35% is fucking outrageous. Extremely outrageous. Extremely outrageous. Extremely outrageous. But turn it off then. I know, Tandra. I appreciate that. It's just like it was so fucked up that Izzy makes her video and she mentions fucking not your baby doll and her relative with cancer and goes whatever, her cousin or her aunt or whatever with it. Whatever, some family, whatever. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like no fucking concern or and today was well yesterday now was Bobby Ramos's daughter's that passed away birthday. I mean, so on Lou's birthday, she happens to share it with a very wonderful person. Um, and instead, she spent it bitching about getting an email from my deceased relative. She doesn't know, they don't notice anything going on, you know, around them to care for other people. There's fucking Sharon saying, yes, I recall you saying something about my brother. I mean, come on, man. Telling me cancer is my karma. Ha ha ha. Who does that? Who does that? It's just like if you don't have it in your heart to care for, everybody and think of the same, like if you feel that way, then, I mean, Traveler Girl Lou, I'm just going to say it again to you. We never said anything bad about you. The first time that I had any kind of uh whatever, like apparently Night Owl had gone into your room to say, I mean, I get it that you guys think that we all are these evil people that are just looking to be horrible to everybody, but we're not. And she just went into the room because she felt bad about, um, you know, what had happened to your son with the dog. And um, immediately Spartan Dan said, oh, she's one of SG's. She's trouble. Now, Spartan Dan, I see you on Bobbles, and you say things like, I only said one thing ever about her, and blah, 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 blah. That's not true, Spartan Dan. You block me and everybody who is affiliated with my channel, whenever we show up, like immediately, immediately, immediately. And then they go on and on about like JC Bear, you do know that we don't make fun of you or anything about you. You do know that people here in this channel get made fun of for things that have you should have passion to speak out against, and yet you don't. You don't. You don't. Your priorities are fucked up. As much as Luna will say rotten shit about me, and she will, when she doesn't, I say, but Luna, I saw was saying, said this, so thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I still haven't put up anything back up pertaining to Luna or made anything, new or whatever. Yeah, she fucking hurt my feelings saying that I'm the type of mother that would fucking write those horrible things about. I mean, does she really think I think somebody thinking about having a child and not being able to have one is funny? No. But she must really think that if she really thinks I could write those things about my own daughter. And that's where my confusion lies. I don't understand why she would think somebody who has things in common with her, as for taste of music and movies and things like that, which I always say, I believe that is the first time I ever had any kind of interaction with Luna, was on a music live stream. Can you guys still hear me? And she was enjoying herself. Everybody was. We were really reminiscing, going back to some good songs, and good music is, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I really wish that people would stop wanting to hear the bad that people make up, that people say about them, or people even drive them to say about them. And I'm not blaming my actions on other people. But if somebody throws a kick at you or even throws something at you, human nature is to try to protect yourself. It's called self-defense. It's self-defense. I take pride in my child. I wasn't told a lot of encouraging things growing up. I encouraged myself a lot, but I was told a lot of encouraging things by, coincidentally, people who have passed away too soon. But because of the role that they played in my life, if they were going, if fate had it that was when they were, say people's fate is, say people's destiny is already written out, and say people's destiny is already written out. So say that somebody's predestined to die at 35, okay? It doesn't matter how many years you have here on earth. It's what you do with them. You know? It's what you do with them. I can honestly say that every person that I've lost, if destiny had it that they were going to be taken off this earth at the same age they were taken away from being in my life, then I know enough to know I didn't lose them. I gained them. What a gift. What a gift. What a gift. You know? Yeah, things work in mysterious ways. Ironically, if my sister Linda didn't pass away, my memories of my cousin Paul would have been when I was 6 and he was 4, and we didn't get along good, we were little kids. He even threw this freaking broken bottle one time and clocked me in the head with it. And then they said, oh, he's only 4. He's only 4. But when my sister Linda passed away, we went to England. And I got the little brother that I never had. And he passed away. Good night, Tander. He passed away right before his 18th birthday. But I gained 2 people that loved me. Even if they weren't here for a very long time, they loved me. It doesn't matter what Izzy says, or if Sharon wants to say cancer is my karma, or if Carrie Ann, I don't even know, or Ollie wants to call me the beast, or these people want to call me these things. They can't take away from me what I know about me. I know that if life gives you lemons, then make lemonade. I'm not even big on lemonade, but I'll do it because I refuse to live this life in vain. Knowing that those people strive to highlight people's misery and make them sorrowful. I know for sure there's nobody that can stand by us, or the rewatchers that appreciate this. They can't stand by us if that's what they strive to be. If somebody losing their life, whether it be natural or what it is, to make them want to feel worthless is so strange to me. To make them want to feel like they're the type of parent that would wish their own child death is so strange to me. How could anybody not understand anger when being accused of wishing your own child death by a woman who had conversation and refused when ministry asked her to remove my daughter? Like as if I called her the C word, so my daughter had to pay for it. That's what you said, Luna. You said, I'm not removing shit about her daughter. Why should I care? Why should I care? She called me the C word. So you were already going after my child and paying no respect to my child. Then you had conversation with my child and my deceased sister. And we're like, oh, LOL, I don't even know who you are. Same with Angie Reacts was. And ministry would go around and she would tell people that is not SG's daughter, and it's not SG, it's a troll. And they would just fucking discard it. They'd be like, whatever, we don't care who it is. Like, my daughter didn't matter. My deceased relative didn't matter. Is that why you're sad, Secret Society? I'm sad because you give love to everybody who talks shit about us. Do I have any sound now? I'm not accusing you or blaming you. I'm just saying it's odd to put likes on people's shit that are being really derogatory to somebody who's never been mean to you. Ministry probably fell asleep, secret society. I mean, if you go through Sharon's community page, everything she fucking puts is fucking derogatory against somebody else. Everything is derogatory against somebody else. How insecure must you be? Unless it has to do with me and you want to subscribe, correct, secret society? But some shit's more than just drama. I mean, when it has to do with, your children and your deceased relatives and your health and all that shit, it's more than just drama. I mean, it's real shit. I'm sure if anybody called anybody the N word, it wouldn't just be drama, right? Right? I mean, what hurts your feelings may not be the same as what hurts my feelings, but feelings are feelings just the same. Like, I didn't appreciate it when Tom Reed said that shit to a blobby, and yet you had no problem publicly not supporting me and publicly supporting Bobbles, even though that happened on Bobbles. Excuse me? I defended that. I defended the disgustingness of that it shouldn't have been said on there. But I've seen you like still supporting people who don't think that it happened. I mean, it did happen. He clearly said it. But it's okay for people to talk about cancer or other people's children. How can you say, I don't know what it feels like to be you when you don't know what it feels like to be me? Cancer isn't a privilege. I mean, I know you're not a racist person. I'm not a racist person. but they like to call me that because somebody said mariachi band. I mean, but the shit that they have done is clearly they all tip the scales. Wants to blame here. Oh, here wants to blame here. Yeah, they do want to blame here. We don't dish it out. We point it out with their own words. We don't edit it, but it's okay. See, you're missing the point. We're talking about the N word here. That was said over there, and to publicly denounce this channel when we were offended by that. The other night, someone said, no, but he publicly denounced me. He publicly denounced me, Monster Radio, even though I publicly say I don't like the N word. I would think if I could defend, my friends and what offends me and my friends, I would think someone else could do the same. That's all. Human nature. Are you subscribed to my channel, Secret Society? Publicly saying they were unsubscribing to my channel and liking things where people are saying derogatory things about me. Correct. But so what's right then? What are you saying what's right? Morning, Cassidy. We're not really in glass houses here though. We're nothing at all like those people. We don't negate people's health problems, you know. Have you gone back 2 years? I mean, we we play what they're saying though, and when they don't say anything and they move in the right direction, we commend it. I don't know who Jessica is. I understand that. And earlier tonight, Monster Radio, I was saying I do not say that I am not guilty of responding with words that I would feel that were fighting words, like the "see you next Tuesday" word. Um, I in my day that would be fighting words. You know what I'm saying? But the things that have been said and done have far exceeded the C word. So old school head, in my old school head, I can't wrap my head around the fact that they had this whole live stream tonight over there on Travel Girl Loose with her bitching about receiving an email from my deceased sister. She died in 1984. And then someone who was in there saying, no, 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 that's not her sister. Her sister's name is this. Now, for her to know I have another sister with that name means they've been digging. They've come out with my deceased mother's name. These people dig. There's another like community on the flip side of this chosen one community on the flip side of that one that is real trolls. I mean, real trolls. There's a whole nother community involved, though, that has no problem digging into people's real lives and finding out addresses and finding out and reaching into real lives. They enjoy it. It's what they do. Yes, but according to community guidelines, doxing is supposed to be illegal. It's supposed to be illegal. Now, that same person who ends up everywhere telling people, oh no, she probably does send herself those things about her own child. And the person that was, like shockingly came out with my other sister's freaking name tonight. Um, that same person, when my channel was struck for a week for a 16-second video where I was showing that somebody had been using my face, avatar face, and using that person's name, though, for the Gmail. Now, for me to get reported for that, when I'm trying to report that person, somebody was um that person probably was the person who made the account. If they were able to, and when I responded with an 800, character appeal, which is all they allow, even saying, look, if I did break some kind of guidelines, fine, you can keep me struck, but at least do something about this person who is stealing my identity. This is identity theft. And yet they didn't. They said, nope, appeal rejected. And that's messed up because that person was stealing my identity and getting away with it. Stealing my identity and getting away with it. Now that same person goes around doxing every family member, basically. Every family member, from what I'm seeing. Every family member of mine, they're doxing. Like it's okay. Had that real person's name on it. There's a whole nother community that is completely a suicide troll community. That is what they are. So it does have to be exposed to an extreme because what they do is extreme. There's people who you can look up their like, their obituary guest books online, and their mother writes in them every day because her child, 25 years old, killed herself. And every day she writes in it. Here's the thing though. When people celebrate things like victories of wars and stuff, they don't say it's tit for tat and people are throwing stones and people are doing this and people are doing that, because this is comparable to that. It's somebody has their own territory, it's their own self, it's their own privacy, it's their life, okay? And they see other people talking about cancer or their cancer battles. So I'm just using this as an example. There's other people, who use their addiction battles or their weight battle or whatever it might be, okay? And suddenly they get attacked. And when they defend themselves, people say, yeah, but it's both of you. Yeah, but it's tit for tat. Now, let me tell you, when the same people have been doing it for 2 years to somebody who literally made their arrangements in case they died, to me, I think that's pretty extreme and it deserves extreme measures. Imagine if I was your mother. And we've always led a, crime-free, productive citizen life, not putting anybody down that's come across hard times or whatever, but, when you're a kid who, put a lot of time and effort into your education, you cost a lot of money, took a lot of time, and triple major Dean's List graduate, mind you, in 4 years. And these people who you don't even know, because they want to start harassing your mom the day she got diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, the very day, they actually reach out and harass you too. Oh, I've done the mutual respect thing. I've had everybody remove anything derogatory. For 2 years, it's been that way. You can go look through. Why do you think I have less comments and shit in my videos and everything? Because I don't keep the derogatory ones there. The majority of comments that people leave on those videos of those people are derogatory. That's why there's a lot, because they're derogatory. You'll look on mine and you'll see that, because we're not derogatory. Traveler girls, but I don't see it up right now. I do that monster radio, and that even kills sometimes the people that are are my friends and stuff, and I'm their friend, and it'll kill them because they're like, "Dad, but did you see what they were saying about me there?" Themselves. And I do see it. No, trust me, over 2 years, they don't. They don't. I mean, the way they got it at this point was that 22 million people who really have cancer probably think, no, they're derogatory to other people, Monster Radio, and I don't like to leave them. I don't like to leave people putting people down and stuff. We don't do that here. We don't do that. Nah, they leave that kind of shit up. We don't. You know. Oh, I report them to remove them. I hit report to remove. They get reported. I mean, but look at how many times these Chinese ones or whatever. No, not Chinese. What are they? They're Spanish that have been coming through. But if you click the link, it's pornography. Um, like it's a nice message, but it's pornography, and it's I report them all the time. It's just that it just really pisses me off. They would say that I would say those things about my own child because I like to be a perpetual victim, or that I don't have cancer. I'm just pretending to still have cancer because I want to be a perpetual. I've never been that in my fucking life. In my life. And I'm not the type of person that if in real life people were saying this shit, I'd be taking care of it. I mean, this is real life because we are in an electronic age, you know? We are in an electronic age. And if they cannot adhere to their own community guidelines, then there's a problem. I have reported addresses, you know, doesn't matter. Right away, they'll be right back up. Now, here's the thing though, they don't even know what some people might have moved from. Like, what if it's a woman that has a person who, an ex-husband or something that wanted to find her and kill her? These people would get off on that. That would be their creme de, what is it? You know what I mean? Like cherry on the top. If I would have died and fucking my last fucking video was me laying in the fucking bed crying with only fucking maybe back then, back then, maybe only 3 people in my live stream. Back then when they didn't even know if it was 4 weeks to live. Tom Reed already had it all planned out. I was already unwrenched and yeah, creme de la creme, yeah. I was already unwrenched and technical difficulties. The minute I got home. And I'll never forget that I puked. It makes me nauseous when I think of it. Like without even like I didn't just feel sick. I had to cover my mouth and run to the bathroom. Because none of those people in that room knew that I had come in and then just immediately been blocked. He already, boom. And then it was, if anybody asked about it or anything, they were degraded on his channel. Like he would, right? But if you kick cancer's ass, then you could kick anything's ass, right? And according to them, I'm free and clear of cancer, and I choose to believe that. So I appreciate that they want to keep saying that. I love that. Keep saying it. Um, and they're not scarier than cancer. But I will tell you that there's 22 million people or more in the world. Hi, Bobby Ramos, that have gone through some kind of form of something, and not to mention everything else they fucking pick on about people. Body shaming. They were saying there's an uprise in suicide. Yeah, sorry, in girls because of the body shaming. We didn't used to live in that cruel of a world, though, Monster Radio. No, you're not, Monster Radio. And nobody ever really is of anything that's happened to them in their life, though. Nobody is ever truly free. But at least let each other, live and let live. Right? Live and let live. Carpe momentum. Seize the moment. Seize the moment. Not just the day. Seize the moment. right? Monster Radio. And imagine if, like, she just happened to come across, for her searches for maybe abandoned cities, come across Chosen One's channel and start watching it and see, he's all right. He's a nice person. He speaks to the people and everything. And she puts in a lot of time there and everything. And then she gets modded and she's like, wow, that's cool. This guy's a big group. She's got her own little channel. And then suddenly she gets cancer. And she's like, oh, well. And then the whole quarantine starts. So it's like, okay, well, everybody else is, whatever. You think you're among friends. And imagine your mom, okay? Your mom, and you don't live close to her. So you're on the speakerphone conversation call, whatever conference call that day in the room when they call you in, and everybody in that room that your mom was a mod knew that you already had stage 2, right? But you got called back and your mom got called back, say, right? Anybody's mom, anyone's mom got called back. And your mom, you're younger and your mom's older, whatever, lives by herself. You're living your life, it's tough on your mom, but whatever is what it is. Okay. You think she's got some friends and these people on YouTube? Because I had never had any problem, really. Not much, anything that really. I mean, at least during this time, from what they said, I wasn't going through it alone. They were yeah, but no, but see, even before the quarantine, even before quarantine, I had been going there. Before this person had 1,000 subs, I was going there. Now they were up to 160,000 subs. Okay. And, well, what time are you going? What time I'm going? Okay. Yep, I'll go live so you can tell us what they say. And I get home. Sure, shit, they're live. And your mom goes on to say whatever. So, or anybody's mom. Speaking hypothetically, I'm not speaking to anybody directly. Hypothetically, these people that she'd been taught, like, doesn't go anywhere much online. I didn't go anywhere much online. I wasn't some, big YouTuber. My videos only got like 20 views and stuff. Did a lot of research on some shit, but whatever. And yeah, right. 160,000, and now you're a mod, right? You're a mod. Been there all those years, and you go in and say, or anybody's mom goes in, because it was during the time of right after their appointment. Come home, walk in there, go in there, and say hello, everyone, and notice that your wrench is gone. And then that person who their favorite fucking phrase to say when they would boot somebody. Like, I didn't even get the berating or the talking down to even. I was gone. Technical difficulties and laughed. And I'm not a puker. But I covered my mouth and ran into the bathroom and puked. And I became a kook. I was some kook. That's what he kept calling me. Imagine the whole time you're trying to wrap your fucking head around cancer. You're a kook. In a community that these people knew you. And eventually a lot of them got booted anyway. And the next thing you got Munchausen's. And everybody else is responsible for anybody who donates to your GoFundMe because you're such a rotten fucking person. Nobody would donate to, you. I mean, you gotta thank these people. You gotta lick their asshole. And then they gotta keep going on about, but if you want your money back because it was a fraud, it was a scam, it was a fraud. Cancer. Can't I got some guy fucking now singing some song about cancer about me. I don't even know the person. New man, new world, something like that. Singing some fucking song he made up about cancer and me. I didn't even know the fucking guy. How do these people not realize that tomorrow isn't guaranteed for anybody? We got to share the story. Share the story. Let people know that one of the most scariest things, that chosen one, Tom Reed, took part in the aggressive cancer bullying, cyberbullying campaign of a woman as she was when she was the moment from the moment like it was planned. My wrench was already gone when I typed hello everyone. That motherfucker didn't care if me or anybody else's mother or anybody else was coming in there to say they had 4 weeks left to live or something. Technical difficulties, and laughed. And I was labeled a kook. He lied and said he got emails from my neighbors telling him I was lying. Tom Reed, Chosen One Community Channel, in front of many, many people, has doubted my can be absolutely proven. Luna as well, sorry, and other people have doubted something that can be absolutely proven and isn't only contained to me. People are not guaranteed tomorrow. When you get a group of people who don't care about what might be in the afterlife, then you know you're not dealing with people who have any conscience. They don't have a conscience. They don't. If they don't care about what might happen in an afterlife, there's no possible way they believe in having a soul and are curious or even question where their soul goes. And even if they do question it, they must have to think that their soul goes into one of the worst places. Because if they didn't, they would think that there's a reason to be a good person. When these people say things like, I did things to them and I've been this way my whole life, I deserve what I'm getting. They're not cancer bullying, they're just making fun of an asshole that just happened to get cancer. I want them to prove that to me. Prove that. Prove that to the millions of people that you say it to. Prove it. Not even just to me. Prove that. You know what? Probably if it was just me they were saying it to, they'd have a better chance of me maybe believing it. Because everybody beats themselves up. Everybody thinks, oh, maybe I did something to deserve this, or maybe I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But when they're stating it to the world, and I know for a fact I don't even know these people, then, then that's when I say, oh, hell no. You aren't even whispering these things in the privacy of trying to touch my own fucking demons in my own head. You're fucking stating shit out loud like it's some kind of a fucking fact, and it isn't. So I wouldn't I wouldn't allow somebody to let me go out like that. I ain't going out like that. Could you imagine? These motherfuckers would sit there, and I guarantee you, if there was a crystal ball or a way to see into the future, I guarantee you, even if something happened to any of them, whether it was Tom, whether it was me, no matter which one of us, no matter which one of us it was, they would talk about them for years to come, no matter who it was, for years to come. They would never say something happened to Tiffany M. God forbid. Okay? Say something happened to Tiffany M. God forbid. I guarantee you, those videos that are up about her that are derogatory wouldn't get removed. Any ones that she was trying to defend herself in aren't even there because she would remove them all. She would remove them all. I'd still defend her. Reason being is when I make a decision to defend somebody, I do it because being against what's going on, common sense being so scarce, but not here and not really. It just has to have a place to congregate, like to be there. I know, but it's not about them defending me. Like even tonight, like with watching, I was watching Bibles. And you know, first of all, she's pretty right. I mean, uh she hasn't been saying anything about Sharon. And Sharon be coming all out with, roasting that, pig and stuff like that. I know she does ministry. But I don't have to become what I hate most in people. That would make no sense. That would make no sense. I know the first thing to think from people is, oh, but everybody is doing it back and forth, blah, 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 blah. But we're not. I think they might just catch a tidbit here and there where we're fucking irate and pissed, man. With good reason. I mean, I'm damn near close to fucking hating people. And that's pretty bad. When you want to be, when you strive to be the person or the people or the reason why people just give up on humanity, that's fucked up. And that's what those people do. All right. I mean, think about it. Think about Mr. Rourke, okay? What's fucking normal about that? I mean, I'm not trying to sound funny. I'm not trying to sound mean or anything like that. But seriously, I mean, serious, explain. How is that normal? How is Mr. Rourke normal? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. Like, how is it fucking normal for these people to go from saying, I don't get cancer bullied, I don't get any, none of that happens, to bottom line is this. Izzy. Swear on your grandkids. Swear on your grandchildren that you've known me my whole life. And you say this is how I've been my whole life. Detroit Deadpool, swear on everything you love that I have an estranged relationship with my daughter. Moonchild, I want you to swear on everything you love. And where have they all been lately? Moonchild, Thursday's Child, fucking. Where was Carrie Ann and Connie and Amy tonight in Bob's chat? I didn't see them there. Somebody's playing fucking games with these people. Bobos, they're playing games with you too. The fact that you're the fucking topic of these emails. Ollie has been the topic of the emails. Debbie's been the topic of the emails. I've been the topic of the emails. You've been the topic of the emails. Tiffany's never been the topic of the emails. Tom Reed's never been the topic of the emails. And neither has Laura. Funny though that Sharon got 3 fucking cash apps tonight while she was busting on you. No, ministry. The only reason why I said that is because I'm saying that that's how cruel. Like if I passed away, Tiffany, I mean ministry, you know damn well Tiffany, Tom Reed, all of them would still talk about me badly. But if Tiffany did, they would still talk about her badly too. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that kind of shit. It was on Traveler Girl Lose. See, I saw the freaking email. I received a CC copy or whatever. Bottom line is, though, that I wasn't bringing it up because, you know. it doesn't hurt me as much as it shocks me. Because really, these people are strangers. So it shocks me that that's their fucking destiny in life. That's what they fucking strive to be. Is like nothing but a hindrance to people. They want to be a hindrance to people. Anybody could be a hindrance to people. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, ministry. Like that's such a fucking cheesy thing to fucking strive to be is a troll. Who the fuck wants to be a troll? Have you ever heard of such a fucking ridiculous thing in your life? Like who's even fucking doing it for the lols? I mean, that's ridiculous. What kind of fucking people even invent phrases like suicide trolling or lols and LOLs with the laughing emojis? We're the laughing emoji community over there. I mean, come on, man. Who fucking sits there and repeatedly lies? You know what I'm saying? Like they just sit there and lie. They're sick, 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 sick. Okay. Sick, I tell ya. I mean, I'm not even trying to be fucking like bitchy or anything. I'm just saying, like, who's ever seen anything so ridiculous as a bunch of adults that fucking don't use proper English barely anymore? And I'm not talking about us, okay? So let's get that straight because we are normal people, as normal goes. But I mean, for these people to sit there and, Izzy makes a fucking video bitching about me reading a book, Sharon thinks people are copying her because they talked about fucking doing this, that, or the other thing. I mean, oh, okay, I didn't know you patented the fucking idea of reading a book. I would never fucking have guessed. And I don't care if she fucking is gonna sit there and go, that'll be, fucking fodder for her or whatever. I don't give a shit. I was nice to her. She was not nice to me. She makes her fucking stupid ass shit that's not even funny. I mean, if she thinks that shit's funny about anybody that she does it about, repetitively saying the word caught, keep saying somebody else's kid's name, implying that somebody as a mother would say go play in traffic. Um, Nobody does that to her. Nobody does that to her. When you're fucking grasping for straws to make videos about me because I read a book, two videos made about me because I read a book. Can you fucking believe that shit? Complaining because it was sad and I cried. That's what she does, people. She gets sad and she shows fucking emotions. Fucking gone. I mean, like, are you gonna be okay, lady? I don't even know your real name. You know everything about me, supposedly, and I don't even know your real name. See, is Izzy your real name? I mean, I don't know. Is it short for Isadora? I don't know. I know nothing about you other than Izzy, you live in Scotland, and you are a fucking bitch. Stalker. Because what you know about me isn't the truth. But you fake and claim to know everything about me. Coincidentally, you've been around since the very time I got cancer. Oh, wow. Shocker. Shocker. Because you're a fucking suicide troll. You used to say I was terminal when I never said I was terminal. You used to say I was wasting what little time I had left on Earth. Now you say I should be grateful to not have cancer anymore and I'm scamming GoFundMe. And if people want their money back, they should get their money back if they gave to me in the I mean, what's wrong with you, you freak of nature? How did I, someone who wouldn't even fucking want to be friends with you, get on your fucking radar? Oh, I know. Could it be Tiffany? Could it have been Tiffany? You think maybe it was Tiffany? But even with Tiffany, you have no problems if she likes me not liking her and talking about her. You people go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You go, oh, she thinks she introduced us all on her channel. She doesn't even fucking know. We've all known each other for years and been on here for years. Oh, that's weird, bitch. Because I thought you just got on YouTube fucking 2 years ago. Which is it, bitch? Which is it, bitch? Is he, bitch? Which is it? Is he, bitch? Showing up everywhere they're fucking saying anything about me with these long ass paragraphs. Like it's become your life's obsession. You're a fucking weirdo. And whoever that Munchie is, or Nut Nut, or the Janice Dickinson account. Everything you say is fucking rude. And I'm really starting to think that maybe Mr. Rourke is fucking Mr. Jeff's stealing. Because didn't it go back to fucking Michigan somewhere? And recently, didn't it was something to do with me, you know? Because I've seen the way he fucking shit talks. Even when he was Papa Kilo or Hugh Perkins, he was a shit talking fuck. And he shit talks now. Shit talking weirdo. I'm a man, but I gotta talk about I gotta talk about this woman because she didn't feel the same way I felt about her. She never said she wanted to come down here and meet me. Yeah, I don't go meet people that all of a sudden fucking don't like me for some fucking weird reason and what, lock me out of the fucking house, kill me, throw me in one of the fucking Great Lakes. I mean, you flip at the flip of a coin. I mean, you act like a wacko. Wacko. Not normal. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. It's not appealing. Then you go over to fucking Sharon V's talking smack about me. 1 minute you're drawing pictures of her. Next minute you're drawing pictures of me. Next minute you're drawing pictures of this one and that one and the other one. And, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm Mr. Rourke. Whatever. Just fucking keep my name out of your mouth, man. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. I mean, I don't know what. I like consistency in a personality in somebody. I don't like somebody whose personality changes into such an extreme. Really? That's interesting. Do you think Mr. Rourke could be possibly Lee Thomas? Maybe, maybe not. Let's not forget, even though we might be new to this fucking game, these motherfuckers are in it for a while. They're in it to win it, even if they sin it. Then I say, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No, I don't give a fuck about you, little stupid ass, bitch ass fuckers. I don't give a fuck about you. Just because, like, I'm new to YouTube, which I'm not too new to YouTube, but doesn't mean I'm new to life. I know the drill. I was born at night, but not last night, baby. What is it? I'm in it to win it like Heisman. Can drink about 15 Heineken. No, I couldn't. Heineken's gross. Yeah. In my opinion, allegedly. I know, right? Mm, one of them's a pool player with grandkids, and one of them's calling that one the nicest guy on YouTube. Huh. I do recollect Mr. Rourke referred, referred. Yo, Mr. Rourke, why don't you put a cork in your mouth? Because I didn't want to pork with you, raw dogger, raw dogger. Raw dogging with Rourke and SG. That's what he wishes. See, I crack myself up still to this day. Maybe I'm a sinner. What do you think, Ministry? Sinner? Me? Whatever. Ministry's a lot like me in a way. In a way, she'd kick my ass. She'd kick- Ministry, I think, yeah, Ministry, she's a fucking badass bitch. Well, Ministry is. Rhode Island. Although, I will say, prudently, prudently surprised me. Female bouncer. Never heard of it before. But I believe her. I mean, why would she make that shit up? Now I picture her all burly. Maybe she'll kick my ass too. I hope not. Sorry. Dropped my vitamins, and that's what they are, calcium pills. But you know they'll all fucking say they were something else. But they are. They're calcium 600 plus D3. Sorry. That's what they are. Ah, calcium pills. She's a junkie. That old junkie taking calcium. That old bitch needs calcium. You're an anchor. You're an anchor. Anchor of hope. Listeners. Spinach. Popeye. Olive oil. Oh, are you implying I look like olive oil? La, 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 la. Yeah, my oxys. Ugh, oxys. My friend used to do that shit. I didn't know. So she fucking roofied me or whatever it was. Told me it was a fucking aspirin. She told me it was an aspirin. Ministry. 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 This girl told me it was an aspirin. And I was driving. And we were friends for like a few years. Like, why would somebody do that? And then, like, so I swallowed it down with, like my water or whatever I had. Like, I didn't even, like, second guess it. Didn't even second guess it. Okay? We were driving to Musquamaket. Hour and a half away. But we were close to Musquamaket. So we get there. Well, she goes, first of all, right, after I swallow it, she goes, I meant to tell you to chew it. It works better. I'm like, chew it? Ugh, it's aspirin. Gross. I'm not going to chew aspirin. I know what aspirin tastes like. I go, no. Ugh. But I'm so, like stupid. I don't even know that is, like, something that they do, I guess. I don't know. So, at the beach, it's really hot, of course. And she goes into this, like, like little bathrooms that are set up, sandy cans kind of thing, right? In the parking lot where I parked. I'm laying on the beach and I realize I keep touching my face, like my nose and stuff, touching it. Feeling weird, not myself. Like, I don't do pills. Uh-uh. No fucking chance on that. And she's gone for a long time. And there's this I walked down to the parking lot, and there's a line outside of the bathroom stall there now. And like people banging on the door and stuff. And apparently she must fall asleep in these places. Trust me, I mean, I'm not stupid, but I'm not all hip to people who are on certain things, okay? Takes me a little bit. Especially when somebody has roofied me, pretty much, basically. And so, in the meantime, I'm feeling like really weird. And she comes out, and I say, Heidi, what the fuck? And she was already all in like this fucking mood because these people apparently had woken her up from her beauty sleep in the bathroom. And I couldn't even, like, I had to go lay down. But it was so hot on the blanket too. But I mean, I couldn't like function. And she takes off walking down, Mesquamkett, the street there, you know, and fucking, there was no way I could drive back home. It was an hour and a half away. And freaking, I didn't know what she had given me. Didn't know. Fucking not. Fucking, like, by the grace of God, there was this fucking kid there that I recognized from a local place I used to go to see bands that was near me. And I told him, I said, I can't drive myself home. She left. She left. I don't know where she went. She left. I was like, what the fuck? I'm just saying, people are fucked. Like, why would somebody even do something like that? Unless, no, she didn't do it on accident because she said to chew it. So it wasn't on accident. So fucked up, man. Needless to say, I don't hang out with that person anymore. And that's even in real life. People are fucked. People are fucked. And that's why nice people with good morals, good values, good moral compasses, they have to stay together. They have to stay together. United we stand, divided we fall. There's 37 people here. Can I get a thumbs up from people for United we stand, divided we fall? I'm going to start making my live streams subscriber only because I think it's fucked up that people know right from wrong. And they know that people's mindset doesn't just, be okay with shit overnight when people have said somebody had a breast implant or they spread their legs for meth or they need an exorcism or their dog licks peanut butter off them or they have Munchausen. People get to a point where it's just unforgivable, but perhaps they could just stop about everybody. It's just not right. It's not right. People should know right from wrong. 39 people, there should be more than one person who knows right from wrong to give a thumbs up. 39 people, and everybody's afraid to join the side that, not join the side, but join the mindset of live and let live? Really? Live and let live. This is not subscriber only. You could stick your thumb up right now, I mean, and say, yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. Live and let live. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Look at that, I just made a rhyme. United we stand, divided we fall. Live and let live. And if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Guess only ministry agrees with that out of 40 people. I think that's sad. I don't know how you can say I don't, Detroit Deadpool. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. You gotta admit that was a pretty good rhyme, though, right, Detroit? I'm not estranged from my daughter, estranged from my daughter. By the way, we talk every day, Detroit Deadpool. Thank you, Jesse Hope. I appreciate that. Brave people. Right there. United we stand, divided we fall. Live and let live. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Simple. Simple. Nothing should be about trying to hurt people. If you're not their friend and in private you can't say something to them or whatever, then you don't saying something public is not like trying to help as a friend. It's being 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 mean. You're exploiting somebody's misery and just being mean. And sometimes it's not even really their misery. It's just made up shit. You know? Thank you, Jesse. I just made it up. See, I can make rhymes. I can freestyle a little bit. I wish there'd be some more people who would be united with us and just having that mindset. Doesn't mean that they have to even like support this channel or even like us, but to just have the mindset that if you don't have anything nice to say, then just don't say anything. Don't strive to hurt people or to reveal, things that aren't their business. I mean, you know what I mean? If I want to talk about my sister, let me talk about my sister. That doesn't give, free game to pretend that she's sending nasty emails to people. She's been dead since 1984. Can I reminisce about a loved one? Can people here in this channel share encouragement, share their stories without it becoming top news? Like, you know, Sharon put in her community page. And longtime subscriber Jack said he unsubscribed to SG, and that was the day after Paranormal Underworld had said that he has a clone that is going around calling himself Jack. So it wasn't breaking news. It was pretty much bunk news. It was bunk. It was bunk. Exactly, Jesse. Mm-hmm. At that moment, God looked her in the eyes and he said, "Are you tired? Do you want to come home?" And she said yes, and he put her right there in the palm of his hand, and he brought her home. And because of that, like I said, man, I'll tell you what, my cousin Paul, I mean, I love my sister Linda. I love my cousin Paul. And I wouldn't forfeit one to have the other. I really would not. And I'll tell you what, heck no. When I think about that day that I found out that my cousin Paul was stealing my Marlboros, like I had come from America, I was 16, he was 13, but we both lived with my Auntie Jean and my Uncle Jimmy. My mother was tying up, the sale of the house here and everything. It was right after my sister died, and her family in England was saying, we should go there, we should go there. But I went before she went. I went with her, and then she left and, came back. And then I stayed with my Auntie Jean, my Uncle Jimmy, and my cousin Paul. And he was 13. His nickname was Stavros. His nickname was Stavros. He was our Stavvy. And he had blonde hair and brown eyes, big brown eyes, and two cowlicks on his head. You know what a cowlick is? It's like a cow licked your head, I guess, and it grows in a big curl. So he would always keep his hair shaved, like so that it didn't grow in this big curl like it used to when he was little. Like when I remember him when he was 4 and I was 6. His hair felt like velvet. And he'd say, Grand, Grand. That was my Uncle Jimmy. But that was his grandfather. My Auntie Jean was his grandmother. He called her Mud. Me Mud, Mud. And Uncle Jimmy was Grand. Grand, you make us some cheese on toast? And then one day, I noticed that it looked like my carton of cigarettes that I would hide in my suitcase that I brought from, America seemed like it was getting a little light. And I was down at this little, little like restaurant, chippy, whatever, tea shop, whatever it was. And they said, "Oh, your Stabby was in here earlier." I said, "Oh yeah." They said, "Yeah, he was handing out your cigarettes." He was handing out my cigarettes. Okay, Ministry. I'm sorry you don't feel good. He was handing out your cigarettes. I said, what cigarette? He said, those Marlboro. You brought from the States. I said, oh. And I went home. That little motherfucker. Thank you for putting that up, Bobby. I appreciate it. I did have an added expense I didn't expect, but my phone smashed and I had to buy a whole new one. It's not like I get anything extra to live on disability, and I do intend on going back to work. I want to get this, I want to get a clearer bill of health and get this port removed. You know, summertime, I don't want to wear tank tops and have a port and shit. I don't know, kind of freaks me out. Now, I'm pretty sure as soon as I came in the house that day, because I went right home to my Auntie Jean's when they said that my cousin Paul was doing that, and he booked it up the stairs. And he ran, and freaking, we ended up in my room, and we were physically fighting. And we were fighting, and we rolled off the bed, and then we hit the floor. And my Auntie Jean, she came running up the stairs, and she had those glasses that were like, you know, where you could, they're the Coke bottle kind of glasses where their eyes are really magnified. They look huge. And she was like, she was old too, you know. So it wasn't easy. She never would go up the stairs. Never, never. When she came up those stairs, she said, what's going on in here? That was one of my fondest memories, believe it or not. I loved him. They're all dead now. Even his mother, my cousin Glow. He got electrocuted. He was gonna move here when he turned 21. It was in his like gone too soon or whatever thing in the picture of him. Yes, he did have a Yankees hat on. He shouldn't have, but uh, and I used to for a long time. I used to think that maybe I just thought that we talked about him moving here when he turned 21, but or 18. I think it was right before his 18th. Whatever it was, he was going to move here. But then when I read it in that, obituary or whatever thing, he planned on moving to the States. And I knew. Another white person. Oh, I don't think you should keep that there. Auntie is from England, really, because I refer to my aunt from England. Yeah, because of being in England. I had no aunts here. The only aunts. But some of my Auntie Dot, I say Auntie Dot, my Auntie Jean, but my Auntie Dot. For some reason, isn't that weird? No, but I know. Because I say my Auntie Dot, my Auntie Jean, my Auntie Jean. Sometimes I say both. Auntie Jean, Auntie Jean. I don't think it's really a color thing. I think it's anything at all. I don't know. I just know that that's the only thing they're focused on. If anything like that is written in my chat, and that's just I just can't. You know how they are. I'm just reminiscing. I can't believe these motherfuckers even went as far as finding my mother's name. Who fucking does that? Your mother and your father's fucking names. Like, who fucking does that shit? Like, Tiffany, like, why would it be like you get harassed and your family gets harassed, but I make everything up about myself? Other people get cancer, other people get this, other people get that, but I make it up about myself. Why the fuck would I make everything up about myself? But why the hell should anybody believe anybody who 1 minute says I'm a good person, then the next minute they say I'm a bad person? I mean, the integrity there seems pretty fucking self-evident. I don't, I don't put up and take down channels or this and that to fucking hurt people. I don't go around and be everywhere where there's somewhere I can negate somebody's feelings. I don't know. I don't know her then. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I've never known anybody to make up cancer. If somebody did that, I don't know why they would. I think that's kind of weird. I just don't know anything about it. None of that shit ever crosses my mind, so I guess that's why it would cross her mind, because if she did, then that would be why. If people can wrap their heads around it, then that's why they accuse other people of things like that. Because they're just fucking capable of it themselves, so it doesn't make it too hard for them to believe it. Everybody deserves respect because life doesn't always respect people. Life throws shit at people, man. Man, you know how many times I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna run out and do this. And then next thing I'm like, wait a minute, I just had my phone. I'm like, I asked this lady in the parking lot of CVS, can you call my phone? I give her my number. I don't hear it ringing anywhere. I drive back. Cat shit was fucking. Yeah, it's still in my fucking driveway. I must have. I didn't hear it, man. I think she meant the lies about me. Ministry. I think she meant lies about me when Tiffany was telling lies about me and other people were telling lies. I don't think she was referring to you. Yeah, but the thing is when people defend themselves, even, it's like they get accused of being part of the drama. But the thing is that nothing ignored goes away. Everybody knows that. Ignoring something is not good, you know? Thank you, Ministry. Ignoring things are not good. It doesn't go away, it just gets bigger. It gets bigger. Anything, like rust or weeds. I just can't, I'm not judging anybody, when I'm pointing out what people do to each other. But I didn't see Bobbles going after Sharon lately. But but it is possible that I don't know. All I'm saying is that in Sharon's community posts, there is never anything kind there. Never. And that's because somebody was leaving downstairs. Never, ever anything kind. Nothing. It's ridiculous. She's over the top. Over the top. When somebody sits there and spends all that time making pretend garbage for $4, I mean, 1,000 views is $4. Hi, Cassidy. Hi, Bobby. It's $4. And someone gave her a super chat for 10, which turned out to be like 7 something, right? 650. So for $10, how much time did that take you to put an everlasting impression on you as a person who has no fucking moral compass or any capability of realizing that you're fucking lying about somebody who has cancer. Life is hard enough for me as it is. Then you lie about other people and you think it's comedy because you're taking something hard in their life and acting like it's funny. Yeah, sure, I've done a few fucking go back ads where when I went, er, pancakes. Big deal. For a fucking weirdo that thinks Queen of Mean is what you want to be. You want to be Leona Helmsley, who thinks because I read a book, I'm copying her. Well, I didn't see those videos where SC read a book. Well, you do now, so shouldn't you say so? I apologize. My bad for being a weirdo, thinking that libraries existed, but nobody used them until Sharon V talked about reading a book. She didn't read it, but she talked about it. I mean, yeah, sure, you talked about reading a book. Oh, I beat you to the punch. What's that mean? Now they don't get a book read to them? Fuck reading a book now. Guess what? There's loads of people on YouTube that read books. No big deal. No biggie, Sharon. No biggie. People read books. Try it. You know what? You should try it. Why don't you try it, Sharon? I'm interested to see how your peeps take to your reading a book. Let's see how your peeps take to reading a book. I think that would be fun. Don't you guys think that would be fun to see how Sharon's peeps take to reading a book? I think so. I bet you they're book people. I bet you. Big bookies, big book people. I know, I didn't realize that. News. But I got a few books around. But I got a few books. Okay, good night, Jesse, or good morning. I don't know if they're tired of doing it yet. Who knows? You guys want to hear a ghost story? Anyone a ghost story? Real quick. Okay. The Palatine gleamed in the sunlight as she set off for the American colonies with a full crew, a long list of German passengers, and a hull crammed with supplies to last during the winter of 1750 to 1751. These are true stories of New England. This one happens to be about Block Island, Rhode Island. Certainly, there was no indication on that crystal clear morning of the destiny fate had in store for the ship. It was not until after the first of the winter storms had blown the ship off course that the passengers began to hear several of the more militant members of the crew muttering against the captain. He was working them too hard, they said. They were not being paid enough money. The passengers were too demanding. The captain had more respect for the passengers than for his own crew. As storm after storm tore into the Palatine, the mutters grew louder and seemed to encompass the whole crew. Black looks followed the passengers wherever they went. Mothers began confining their children to the passenger areas of the ship, fearing trouble. See, sounds like a mob mentality. Sounds like the same thing that we go on with, huh? And trouble came. At the height of a terrible storm, the passengers awoke to a loud stomping and yelling above their heads. The crew was attacking the captain in his cabin. A few of the bravest men made their way up to the storm-lashed deck. Wow, sorry, deck. The sight that met their eyes was horrific. The crew were keel-hauling the captain. They tied his body to the bow of the ship, prepared to leave him there until he drowned. A workman named Gunter gave a mighty shout and tried to rescue the captain. One of the sailors, a shaggy black-bearded man, pulled out a pistol and shot Gunter in the chest. Gunter sank to his knees and then fell onto the deck. Another man tried to rush the mutineers when he realized Gunter was dead, and he too was shot. Picking up Gunter's body and using it as a ram, two of the other mutineers pushed the men back down into the hold. Several crewmen were sent with guns to round up the other passengers, who were thrust into four small rooms. Gunter's wife gave a terrible cry when she saw her dead husband. The black-bearded mutineer laughed, threw the body into the room at her feet, and then barricaded the door. Two men rushed the door, but the mutineers fired a few rounds straight through the wood, wounding one of the men. The passengers rebelled no more. During the days that followed, the sailors forced the passengers to pay exorbitant prices for a bit of bread and some water to drink. They jeered at the passengers' pleas for mercy, ignoring the cries of the children and the men's angry threats. One morning, when the pitifully small rations for the day were brought to the passengers, Gunter's widow threw herself through the door, screaming her rage and rebellion as she beat the sailors with her fists. The sailors laughed and took her away with them. To what end, the others did not like to think. Terrified, the passengers could do nothing but ride out the next series of storms sent by the devils that rule the Atlantic in winter. The Palatine came to ruin just off Block Island on a dark, stormy night. The mutineers plundered the ship, ran her aground on the rocks near the shore, and set fire to her. Realizing their intentions, Gunter's widow, who had been driven mad by her cruel treatment, broke the bonds that held her, and raced through the flames to the side of the ship, determined to make the mutineers die with her. But one of the sailors drew his cutlass and cut off her hands as she clung to the gunwale of the last boat to leave the ship. She fell back into the flames as her murderers lowered the boat onto the ocean and rowed away. Below decks, the strange listing of the ship alarmed the passengers. When they smelled the smoke, the men broke down the doors, fearing fire more than the threat of the mutineers. They gathered the women and children as best they could, but a few of the compartments had struck rock, and the prisoners inside were drowned. With the water creeping closer every moment, the men herded the women and children up to the deck. They were met with sheets of fire everywhere they turned, blocking all means of escape. I will climb the rigging and try to jump over the side of the boat into the sea, the man leading the way said loudly. The terrified passengers turned hopefully at the sound of his voice. The shore cannot be too far. I will go for help. Meanwhile, stay away from the fire. Use the water in the hole to douse as many of the flames as you can. I will go with you, volunteered another young man. And I, said a third. The three men climbed up the nearest rigging, going as high as they could in order to jump over the fire. But a strong gust of wind fanned the flames nearest the rigging, and the sails began to burn. The passengers watched in horror as the flames swiftly overtook the men. The leader, on fire from head to foot, lost his grip and plummeted to the rocks below, followed swiftly by the two other volunteers. The rest of the passengers panicked. Some hurried below, where they blockaded themselves against the flames. Others plunged through the flames and leapt into the sea. On shore, the islanders were gathering to render what aid they could to the stricken ship and her passengers. But by sunrise, the Palatine had burned to death and slipped beneath the waves. There were only a few survivors. Every winter since then, just before a storm, the Palatine reappears off the shore and is wrecked and burned before the eyes of any who watch for her. Up to you guys. Want another one? I could do one more if you want it. If you want it, you can have it. It's up to you guys. Go once, go twice. I know it's a short story though, right? Should have been better than that. Could have been better. Could have been better. They could have done a better job with that. The Ghost of Elvira Blood, Black Rock Harbor, Connecticut. Well, if you're looking for ghosts, you won't find a feistier one than Mrs. Sam Blood, who haunts the tavern over yonder. You never heard the story? Well, sit down and I'll tell you about it. I don't like the way this one's written. Sorry. The Lady in Black, George's Island, Massachusetts. Sir, the newest recruit at Fort Warren came running along the walkway toward Richard Cassidy. Richard turned impatiently and frowned at the red-headed, freckle-faced recruit. What was his name? Charlie? Private, he said gruffly. The private came to attention and snapped off a salute. Sir, I found a woman's footprints in the snow. He hesitated, looking confused and a bit frightened. But they don't go anywhere. The sentry told me to ask you about it. Richard Cassidy sighed. I see you've met the lady in black, he said. Sir? Asked the private. Come, show me the footprints, said Richard Cassidy, and I'll tell you about our resident ghost. Ghost? The private gulped nervously and glanced around. Hasn't anyone told you about the woman in black robes who haunts the fort? Asked Richard. The private shook his head. I wouldn't have believed them anyway, sir. There's no such thing as ghosts. He sounded confident enough, but he kept glancing about warily as he led Richard down to the great arched entrance to the fort. There, he pointed. In the fresh snow, Richard Cassidy could see 5 footprints, the prints of a woman's shoe. They came out of nowhere and ended abruptly after only a few feet. Yep, that must be her. She was a tiny woman, said Richard Cassidy. He nodded to the sentry on guard by the door and said, Come, Private. It's time someone told you about the lady in black. Richard Cassidy led the private to the corridor of dungeons. He brought chairs into an empty cell, and they sat, facing each other, as the officer began his story. You aren't the first to encounter the lady in black. A soldier last year was climbing to the top of the ladder that leads to this corridor. As he approached the top, a woman's voice said, Don't come in here, gave him quite a start. He hightailed it down that ladder and got the commander, who just laughed and told him not to mind the ghost. Richard Cassidy shook his head reminiscently. Another poor chap I know was walking his post one night when a pair of cold hands surrounded his neck. He struggled furiously against the strangling grip and finally broke free. He turned to confront his attacker and saw the lady in black. Unfortunately, the camp commander did not believe his story. The sentry was sentenced to 30 days solitary confinement for leaving his post. Who is this ghost? Asked the private curiously. The lady in black came originally from the south, Richard Cassidy said, settling back comfortably in his chair. Her name was Melanie, and she was married to a Confederate lieutenant in the Southern Army, Samuel Lanier, just a few weeks before he and many others were captured by Burnside at Roanoke Island. Sam Lanier was shipped up here to Fort Warren and was incarcerated right here in the corridor of dungeon. Somehow, God knows how, he managed to get a message to his wife by the Underground Railroad. The message contained directions on where he was in prison and how she could reach him. Being madly in love with her lieutenant, Melanie took passage on a ship and sailed north to Hull. What did she do then? Asked the private. At that time, there was a Confederate sympathizer living in Hull, Richard Cassidy replied. As soon as she landed, Melanie Lanier located his house. He, he gave her a pepper box. I don't know what that is. Oh, pepper box pistol and a Union soldier's uniform to wear. On a moonless night, she rowed to George's Island and landed on the beach. Plucky woman, said the private admiringly. You don't meet many girls like that now. Richard Cassidy frowned at him. May I continue? He asked sarcastically. Sorry, sir. Richard Cassidy continued. Melanie slipped past the sentries under the cover of darkness. She gave a prearranged signal and waited tensely for a response. After a few moments, she was pulled up to the carronade embrasure and hauled through a musket loop. After a tender reunion with her husband, Melanie was told about a tunnel the prisoners were digging under the parade grounds. They were planning to enter the armory and take over the fort. Damn. Unfortunately, the prisoners miscalculated. The tunnel came too close to the Union soldiers who were stationed near the wall, and that very night they heard the sounds of digging. The plan was discovered, and Colonel Dimmick immediately came to the corridor of dungeons. When the colonel cornered Samuel and Melanie Lanier in the cell, she pulled out her pistol and attempted to fire at him. Unfortunately, the pistol exploded. A piece of metal pierced her husband's brain, killing him instantly. Oh no, said the private. It gets worse, said Richard. Colonel Dimmick had no choice but to sentence Melanie to hang as a Southern spy. Being a kind man, he gave the woman one last request. Melanie wished to be hung in women's clothing. Soldiers were sent to scour the fort for some women's clothing. The best they could find were some black monk's robes worn by one of the men during an entertainment. Dressed all in black, Melanie Lanier was hanged to death as a Southern spy. And now she haunts the fort. Yes, she does, said the officer. Soldiers have reported seeing a spirit dressed in black walking at night. Several men have shot at her ghost while on sentry duty. The bullets passed right through her. There used to be a regular poker game in the ordnance room, but the lady in black kept rolling a stone across the length of the storeroom each time they played. It made the men so nervous they finally chose another part of the island on which to play. Well, thank you, sir, for telling me about the ghost, the private said. Just don't desert your post if she comes walking towards you late one night, said Richard, rising from his chair. No, sir. The private hurried out of the cell and then turned back towards Richard Cassidy. Sir, do you really believe in ghosts? He asked. Son, the man replied, remember I told you about the soldier who got 30 days solitary confinement for being strangled? Yes, sir. That man was me, said Richard Cassidy. All right, you guys. So I appreciate you all. I really, really do. I appreciate you hanging with me. Um, much love, power, positivity. United we stand, divided we fall. Live and let live, and If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. He's loving tacos. Yes. Thank you for hanging with me. Cassidy, Bobby Ramos, Ministry, Jesse Hope, Night Owl. A lot of you guys. Tanger, Detroit Deadpool. And the list goes on. Peace, love, and tacos.